Hello, my friends. Wes Gow here, Cardinal Coaching Solutions. Welcome back. So glad you're here. Hey, first up, I want to just give a quick shout out to the Self-Care Summit, the 2021 Self-Care Summit hosted by Liz Garrett and so many other practitioners. I mentioned it in the previous episode, and I'll be sure to include another link here in the show notes. That's going to be going on throughout this year. It is an incredible treasure trove of resources, all kinds of different practitioners, teachers, mentors, everything from meditations to herbal tea recipes to painting, any activity around the idea of self-care is housed in this amazing summit, and you have access to it for the duration of this year. And not only that, but new offerings are continually being added to it. So it's incredible. I'm telling you, it's amazing. You got to check it out. I'll include that link in the show notes. It's a gorgeous, stunning winter day here in the Mid-Atlantic. If you're watching a video, I'm probably even a little washed out because there's so much sunlight in here, and I gotta tell you, I need it. I think I'm maybe like 100% solar powered. So I can handle cold. I'm good with it so long as the sun is out. And if it's dreary where you are, then I'm sending you all my well wishes and sending you some rays of sunshine your way. Hey, speaking of winter and sunshine and just outdoors, I wanted to just hop in here for a minute and share something that has been on my mind. It's been kind of stirring in my spirit, and I got a little glimpse of it, just affirmation even yesterday. So in the last several months, I would say actually since last March, the beginning of lockdowns and kind of this reality that we all experienced, I have taken up just walking. I'll step away from the work from home for a few minutes, and I'll get outdoors and take a walk around the neighborhood. I need it. It's an opportunity to just recenter myself, ground myself. I need to hear some birds. I need to see things happening in real time around me instead of just, the latest updates and the new edicts and orders and whatever else is going on. So I've taken to walking around my neighborhood, and I love noticing things. And so here we are. I'm recording this in late January. It's actually here in the States, it's Inauguration Day. And wherever you are on that side of the conversation, it's a new beginning in some way, shape, or form. And so yesterday, again, it's late January. It's the heart of winter. In fact, even next week, looking ahead, it's going to get much colder. But anyway, I'm walking around the neighborhood, and I noticed two things that actually made me stop and pause and just take note of. The first was down my street, my neighbor has, I'm not even sure what kind of tree it is, but it's always the first thing to bloom. The first petals to emerge in winter come from this tree. It's a tall tree, and it's got over the next couple of weeks, it'll just explode in these beautiful pink flowers, big flowers all over the tree. I don't know what it is. I see very few of them in my neighborhood. But yesterday I'm taking a walk, and I just happened to pass his house. He's got a nicely manicured lawn, and I just happened to notice at the very top of this tree, there's like 3 or 4 of these pink flowers. And I couldn't believe it. It seems early to me. Typically, I feel like I don't see them until maybe February, but I noticed the rest of the tree has buds just waiting to come out. It was stunning to me. It was really, really interesting to see, wow, there's new life. It's happening. And then as I finished my walk and came back to my house, around our house, these were planted before we bought it, but around our house we have daffodils. They'll come up, it'll just be this cluster, this tight cluster of like green, like tips of green arrows, green arrow tips coming out of the ground. And I typically see them again. I feel like I see them early February, so this feels early to see them, but sure enough, there's a clump just beginning to peek out of the ground. Oh man. And what it made me realize, even as I looked around to, there's trees in our yard. We've got some dogwood trees and a pear tree and a silver maple. I'm pointing to my backyard now. Of course, if you're listening on the podcast, you don't see that. But what I noticed was they all have buds right now. They do. They've all lost their leaves. There's not a leaf on them. So at first blush, and here's what struck me. Here's kind of the application of this. At first blush, they look dead. They look lifeless. They look like nothing is going on. Nothing to see here. Nothing of any interest. There's no movement. There's no activity. Nothing is happening. It's winter time. And yet, by evidence of what I've just seen and what I've shared with you, there's absolutely something happening. Something is afoot. Something is becoming. And that's the phrase that hit me. Something is becoming. It is. You might not be able to see it. It might not make a whole lot of noise. It might not be a lot of flash and sizzle to it. But something's happening. Something is stirring. Something is underway. Quietly. In this time of winter, we're kind of in this in-between time right now where we've let go. The trees have let go. The grass, most of it, certainly warm season grasses, have let go. So there's not a whole lot that's happening, and yet there's preparation. And that just really encouraged me as a coach, as a small business owner. And I hope in some way there's something in there for you as well. What is it for you that wants to become, that wants to break out, burst forth, show itself, manifest? What is that for you? Again, maybe there's not a whole lot of flash and sizzle. Maybe there's not a whole lot of clarity around what it is yet. But when you listen to that, either that longing or that ache, what is it that wants to become for you? That's my encouragement to you. And if it's something that you'd like to explore and talk about, man, that's my sweet spot. That's what I want to do. Shoot me an email, Wes, W-E-S, @cardinalcoachingsolutions.com. Thank you so much for stopping in. Take note of what's around you. What can we learn from nature, and how can that speak to our souls? Thanks again, and we'll do this again soon.